engage on your backline.
And it's actually really interesting, right? Because Kaiwing, one of the older players on this team, Delight, when he was a pro, was an incredible Nami player. He was known as, you're not going to move on over here as control wards are going to meet in the banana brush. For this dragon, we'll be going over to Junja without too much of...
So instead of risking the game at an early play...
You think they want to kill Honkyu?
Yeah, possibly.
Well, they're going to go for it here as Emperor's Divide will pick him up.
Peanut?
We'll see whether he can get himself out of there, but that is going to be first blood. Going over to Zeka, and that is a great start. I mean, so tempo vibes are not actually something represented by what's going on in the game.
Very important.
Right?
You might think of tempo and like tempo. No, not that.
It's not actually like that. It's just a vibe of who's in the better position. And right now, Peanut not in a great position as Arcane Shift from Doggo getting so many of these Mystic shots down. Viper trying to kite it out, has that Q activated, and he has to flash to move himself out of the area. Battle Dance to save to life, but Doggo snipes down Viper and will be able to answer that first kill.
So Doggo, he's got loads of tempo vibes right now.
Absolutely, there we go. Shockwave going to come through as Honkyu also pretty good at that. He is going to be able to take a turret shot and be okay, but this dive is not over yet. This wave is crashing down, and Peanut and Delight both under full health. And Cataclysm does put Doggo in the cage, but Kaiwing is able to help pick that one up. Is that going to be Feats of Warfare? There it is! As the Orianna collects it now, Zeka finds a triple knockback with the Emperor's Divide, and Viper has made his way back to the fight. Kaiwing will be the first one to go down in this next team fight as Honkyu. No mana and not a lot of a chance to get himself out. But he is going to be able to flash. Still, Zeka able to pick it up. A double for the Azir, and HLE salvaged the play.
And they were able to get a bunch of kills. Big stacked wave on the top side. A couple of CS going to be lost. They're going to be able to grab all of these grubs in favor of HLE as well. Doggo is in the vicinity, and you've got to be mindful, Peanut. This man is not afraid of anything.
He certainly isn't. They do have a lot of mobility, though, so Battle Dance should be able to get Delight over the wall if he wants to leave the pit. And Driver is now the one that could be in trouble or walking up very, very far. He's Cassante, so he will be able to take a beating, but oh my goodness, Slurkle slows him down. There's the interruption. Great flag and drag from Peanut. And now the all-out does have to be employed. Can Driver do the funny business to get himself out? He uses the flash to try and escape, but he's ran out of options. Does eat that CC very nicely, and oh no! He just gets himself out.
Driver was just proxying between two turrets, and Zeus was like trying to tickle him, but obviously it's Cassante, so that didn't work. And then they tried to kill the Cassante afterwards. Also didn't work as the Drake.
Yeah, Drake gonna get started up here as Zeka finds another two! There is the tidal wave, that comes on through, but Honkyu's already dead. Cataclysm will be avoided, but Doggo, he's out of the fight, he's out of the pit, and there is no hope for Junja this time. It is a steamroll from HLE.
And Zeka no threat. And I really want to highlight what you said earlier, Vedi, about Honkyu. Without flash, there is a Jarvan whose ultimate will force you, maybe even the flag and drag as Zeus.
Yeah, going all out here as the equalizer goes down. It just puts a wall between himself and Driver. There's the knock-up and the punishment to come in. I'll hold it until he's actually dead, and there he does finally go down. Some revenge here as True Shot Barrage not quite correct here to take down Zeus.
Peanut feels very omnipresent right now. It's probably because we just came out of a replay where he was bot lane and now he's top lane. The man is covering exactly where he needs to at just the right times. As Zeka.
Yeah, looking for Honkyu here as the quickness comes in, and Delight will just hold him in position. Emperor's Divide, perfect position, but he's not dead just yet, and Junja is making his way down. HLE, a little bit of a split decision, but Zeka decides he wants to get the kill as there is the turret going down in the top lane at the same time.
And the shutdown will go to Junja, but the bigger story is that while that's happening because of the kill on Driver, top lane has fallen as Doggo.
Yeah, Viper taking so much damage here. That Trinity Force has been finished. The knock-up from downtown as Barrier is trying to keep Viper alive. Meanwhile, here on the bottom side of the map, Junja is in trouble as Zeus is down here as well. That's a great ulti, and Junja is going to be able to keep himself safe.
Oh, that flash prediction.
Two dragons right now. This Herald looks I mean, why do I say it's Of course they will challenge. It's CFO.
Well, they're going to try. We'll see whether they can actually lock down the objective. He's just going to be able to steal it away. Feats of Strength come in as well, but there's a great equalizer from Zeus. Cataclysm comes down, and there is the quickness as well for the charm. Junja is immediately going to get punished, and they may not be able to get the eye, but at least they have some cool shoes.
I love that Junja is just exquisite at winding HLE up. He is diving in solo. The fight doesn't go their way, but they steal away the objective once again. And CFO showing their aggression as Doggo.
Another Arcane Shift forward as Peanut going to get himself out of the top of the morning to you, he says. Zeker is going to shift some sands to get himself to safety as well.
Control of an area, it's quite hard. Even though you get the steal here, look at the re-engage that comes through from Hanwha. Zeus might be in trouble.
Yeah, can't watch the replay in this one as Zeus is in so much trouble. Audacious charge comes through. He does flash. He gets himself out of the way. Wind becomes lightning, goes the wrong direction, but there's the shockwave, and down goes Zeus. Shut down money. Not quite there for the damage. Still waiting for this Rumble to come back up again, and right now CFO do have control of the area. 50% on that health bar. Zeker going to need to find a fantastic shuffle if they want to win this fight. Orb does come down. Honku still with no mana in this fight. Great double knock up in the backline, and there is the flag and drag. At the same time, exhaust onto Doggo. He's put in the Cataclysm. Zeker takes down Kaiwing, and HLE have found their marks. Yes, Peanut goes down, but he has done enough for his teammates. As Viper may have stepped too far forward, he does get disengaged with that blast cone, but they will be able to get themselves the dragon. Honku burning, but Zeus will not be able to find that kill, and my goodness, that could have been way worse for CFO.
And that was Delight that set it all up. He went for a flash charm into two-man knockup onto the backline.
Take out Viper, who heavily committed, thinking he could get the cleanup play, but again, with Doggo's positioning, able to navigate through that fight, but HLE, the good news.
Well, I mean, Doggo is extraordinarily powerful right now. You have a bit of an engage, though, as Zeus in a bit of trouble once again. Equalizer goes down, he's doing a lot of damage. Junja almost just dead, but the all-out holds him in position, and Junja will survive.
Peanut's going to look for an exit kill here.
A little bit of an angle, perhaps, as he does dodge out of the way of that Q, looking for the Xin Zhao here. As you can see, Delight wants to come on over as well. Driver not quite finding the angles onto Peanut here, who will take the consolation Cassante for that 1-for-1. As Viper comes down, if he gets the kill, that's going to feel a whole lot better here for HLE, and he does. Junja is going to be able to get a ward over the wall here, or at least try and look for it. There it is. The control wall goes down. He gets the bad news.
Too late.
But this Otacon is not long for the world, and Delight will turn up. He will be able to play defense to avoid him getting in here. Down goes the Otacon, and now Driver slowed by the Slurkle. Zeus gets himself in there as the Equalizer comes down. Perfect position once again. The tidal wave comes through. It's a phenomenal shockwave. Honku decides that they want to win the fight, and now it's Junja's turn to go deep. They look for the angle. Zeus goes down. Delight in a safe spot, and HLE, they're just trying to get the heck out of dodge.
They need more, though. Zeker might go down.
Yep, tagged by the Mystic Shot. Emperor's Divide pushes Doggo away, and is he going to survive? He will! Mystic Shot doesn't get the snipe, and Delight will also be safe on the top side. Man, they're not allowed to get away with that.
The problem for CFO is that they've just ignored all their waves. They focused on chasing down the kills. They wanted to try and get more off the back of it, but top lane was getting pushed in, mid lane was getting pushed in, and now HLE can reset back out onto the map.
I regretted saying that as soon as I started.
That does mean that we're now 33 flowers to 10, and they will get this mid lane turret Hanwha alive, instead playing for Prio on the Dragon. Zeus obviously has decent
8
wave
seconds
clear.
On that Equalizer, if they
think he
do
wants
want to
to
just
use it, though.
eradicate the wave. You're exactly right. Drake has coming up here, is now HLE in a bit of trouble. Shockwave onto one, but Zeus is no longer here. The scrap shield's good, but Junja just says, no, get out of town, and he is going to be able to pick up that kill. Equalizer went down beforehand, though, and Junja in a little bit of trouble. He's still going forward. Delight will be able to deny him, but I do love the idea at least. Another Peanut to come through. It's Peanut gets taken down. There is Viper finding a decent amount of damage, but they cannot do anything without their job, and that should be sole point.
Oh my god, the Ezreal ultimate almost got Delight because his back came through at just the right time, but it didn't actually hit.
This is a design. I don't know what is even happening here, but it should be sole point picked up by CFO,
It's going
right?
to be. HLE are going to trade back this mid-tier 1. This is something they've been doing very well this game. The cross maps, the trading objectives, they go into Honku.
Yeah, Honku does manage to get the flash out, and now the bubble connects by Kaiwing, but the follow-up, it's just not there. Viper stands in front of his Azir. Now Driver looking for a bit of an angle, but Delight is going to be there for the defense, and man, CFO are just getting so close.
With no jungler, that is CFO going to Infernal Soul Point, and this game, it just continues to deliver. Driver might be in trouble. There are a lot of people on the way.
Exactly. You've got Viper moving down from the north, as you can see, with Peanut alongside. It could also mean an inner turret as well, as Driver does go unstoppable, but Viper does have his teeth in now. Driver gets himself out. But is this inner turret going to be the next target? Looks like the answer is no, as Honku trading on the other side of the rift.
So this is really good news for CFO because now HLE playing a little bit desperate. They sent a lot of members towards the bot side of the map.
Has been looking for these flanks. Doggo's obviously a tough target. Powing also still has his flash available.
Yeah, playing some defense here as Delight making his way forward. There's the quickness. Delight seeing who he can pick up here as the wall. Sorry, the wave is going to be avoided. Cataclysm puts them both in equalizer. Down on top to barbecue them. And there is the Emperor's Divide to lap up that bottom lane. Now Zeka in trouble though. Will he be able to break the arm guard? He will. He's on 1 health though. After everything's said and done, the ult from Junja is so incredibly good. But Viper is still standing. It's so much damage. And the carries for CFO are down.
It was
They have almost 2,000 gold worth of adaptive force there. Thank you very much to our stats team coming up with that one. So this is still a bit of an advantage for HLE. Delight's flashing forward. He finds the quickness to lock down Honkyu. Another phenomenal equalizer from Zeus. And the blast cone will not save the Orianna. Battle Dance gets him out of there. And Delight has been so good. Junja now in trouble. If they lose their jungler, they're in so much dire straits, as you said, Chronicler.
Look at the flash timer. It just now became available. Honkyu didn't have it. The timing from Humble Life, literally seconds away from what it could have been. And now this should secure the Dragon because they didn't kill Junja. I don't know if they can go for Nash, and you need to be careful that Nash isn't taken.
Oh my god, those slows.
HLE found the perfect moment.
Ooh, ships in the night here as the Dragon will be secured. Second one for HLE, denying the soul. As Viper takes half of his health bar from that True Shot barrage, Doggo still hurts.
He needs a little bit more gold injected into him, but he's so wary of HLE forcing things that he wants to be present for the fight, and that fight is about to happen right now.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Look at Junja's positioning.
This is just melting. It's absolutely obscene. Driver goes in there. They're going to see whether they can win the fight because they're not going to take the Baron. The rest of CFO move over, but Driver's going all out, and he needs to get out because that health bar is just missing. Emperor's Divide finds 2 in the back line, and Sayes is there with the flamethrower to take down Honkyu again. Junja will be able to keep himself alive at least, but Peanut takes down Doggo. There are those carries you were talking about, Mal. They're now taking a nap in the river, and there goes the rest of CFO to follow. HLE, they will find their team fight in the end.
Humble Life, get the Nash and take the game.
HLE with ruthless efficiency force the Baron, force the fight, win cleanly, and have the Nexus in their eyes.
Exactly. Nexus turret's going to be the next ones to fall down, and we had questions for HLE. Will Zeka be able to tidy up the play? Well, the answer to that is yes. Will Delight find some of his fantastic engagement? When you see a Trundle, the cow is pretty good.
Yeah.
Cow beats
don't
troll.
get to subjugate it. Yeah, cow beats troll. It's like rock, paper, scissors. I don't know what the other thing is.
It's the clear through the top side, but Junja seems to be reading this super well. He's actually pathing his way towards the bot side. Kaiwing is going to come and check. Now they'll spot him out.
Yeah, Kaiwing gets the information. Zenith Blade is going to hit there as well, as Peanut is behind enemy lines, and now Junja's going to make his way in. No flash. He cannot get over here, but Peanut just goes straight into his hands. Not sure about that one, as Peanut is just dead. First blood over to Junja.
What a phenomenal read from Junja to recognize that Peanut would try to go for the Krugs.
Back then it was Junja on Kiana, if I remember correctly, and that early lead was enough for them to take the entire game. It's going to be early Dragon here now for CFO as well.
Yep, Ocean does go over here, as Junja is going to be able to lock that one up. You can see nice knock up here from Zeus, as the Rek'Sai starting to find a few angles here. Peanut clears out this ward, rest. Does need to be a little careful, as the back will complete. And Zeka makes his way home once more.
The top laner has his Peanut.
This is
quite clever. He's come... Junja thinks that he's gone away, but he's stuck over the wall, came in through the back. Junja doesn't realize, and he's able to steal away one of the grubs. Well done there by Peanut.
Very cute. It should be Junja being able to grab the next 2, or at least one of them. So that experience lead that he does have should still be there. Peanut with level 6 though, the most important thing for a Vi to get to, and is now able to lock someone down.
You think these 2 top laners just have a pact that we're just gonna not base until our first item?
I hope so.
Wait, he's breaking the pact! This
is kind of ridiculous. Doggo moving up towards that top side. Mega Inferno Bomb does connect, doesn't quite do the damage though, and now he's trying to tunnel his way over. The ulti comes through, and Zeus goes down. Immediately, Doggo now at about 200 health. Zeka trying to get himself out of there. He flashes, but the Realm Warp will follow. There's feats of warfare, as no one on CFO has gone down yet, and Kaiwing was even looking for more. It's obliteration by the Oysters.
And CFO... And 1.5 gold lead, close to this early on, is nothing to scoff at.
Certainly isn't, especially when you're looking at then a Caitlyn that gets some free farm to bail you out. She's not necessarily known for that. As Zeus also not looking like he's going to be able to get out of this one either as he takes a bite out of him. There is the Vault Breaker available for Peanut to try and play some defense. Zeus might be out, but Peanut could be in trouble. Honku decides that he wants to kill the Rek'Sai, but it may have not been the right choice. Peanut tries to get himself out. The Solar Flare connects. And this is a little bit cute. The ring around the Rosie to come on through now as Peanut not able to get over that wall. One bite from Ginger, and he clears out his opposite number. 0-3.
One-handed spikes do really hit. But if
yeah.
oh, there we go. They're not letting down on the gas.
Yeah, Honku makes his way in with Kaiwing. Viper going to try and go for the execute, and he will be able to get it. Flashes out of the Solar Flare to make sure that no one gets the money. Still going for a bit of a dive now towards the top side of the map as HLE, they've come alive. The shutdown to give Peanut some money back, and Delight gets his unbreakable will and is able to help take down the Croc there on that top side.
The cross map is clean as HLE lose nothing on the bot side, only gain on top, pushing out that wave. And we're seeing it already here. The fact that not only was Viper able to make the best out of a bad situation, they also make a successful cross map. And now Delight is here to cover for what is CFO's strong side of the map. So fortunately for CFO, they do at the very least get a turret to reclaim the gold that they had lost. But it's something that CFO have to be very cautious of as Peanut's running into rest.
Yeah, does manage to find the Vault Breaker here as Viper set up. Let's see whether he can get some of these shots in. Teleport to come forward though as CFO are turning the play. Zeka will be moving over. And meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, you've got Zeus and Honku potentially about to fight as well. Seismic shove just to get rid of him. Mega Inferno Bomb right on top of Viper's head. And this Caitlyn's going to be real difficult for him to continue fighting. Bouncing Bomb almost connects at the same time. But HLE look to be out of there.
And I'm happy to report that Dogo does indeed play the same way on Ziggs as he does two Dragons.
Yep. And the Coinbase Gold Grind, as you can see here, Peanut versus Ginger. Ginger still in a very good position, but it's kind of stagnated as this game has gone on, and that shutdown money really helping Peanut try and find his way back in. As the Blast Cone, the Mega version, is just going to be denied for just about forever. Delight has to flash to get himself out of that situation, and the Mega Cone finally does come in, and the Realm Warp to follow. CFO, a steak dinner prepared beautifully by them.
An easy pick secured onto Delight. We've seen him miss position here and there throughout this tournament, and fortunately for HLE, that's not going to result. I say that, I stand corrected. CFO, of course, run immediately towards the top side where the Herald is spawned. They know they have the numbers advantage, so they're going to force that objective. HLE are also not really on the right side of the map. Peanut now pathing towards bot, wants to at the very least try and cross map for this tier 1 outer tower.
Also feels like a little bit of disrespect from Hanwha Life, where in the last game we saw that CFO will bring the fight to you. And that's going to be Herald now, should be leading to that mid turret falling. Hanwha Life able to get something on the cross map here, as we talked about, but I think you still take
have that Seraph's completed very, very soon as HLE secure another outer tower.
A whole lot of control here of this river, and they're going to throw down Shelly just to make sure that they retain it. Ginger is going to drive her in, but we do have the wall being set up, and so it's going to have to be a different place to get a headache. Never mind, just swings by, just bypasses the wall, but then bypasses the turret. It's not what you want to see. There is the cease and desist, and Ginger will immediately get punished, but he does have the subjugate, and Zeka just kind of evaporated off the back end. They still get the charge. How the hell did that work? That is so it looked like he missed, but maybe it was part of the play.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Absolutely. We have to. Do we have to now say that it was obviously part of the plan? Because it worked out.
Perfect calculations, Atlas.
Exactly.
How did you not see that?
I really do like to assess things based on the result. Is now Doggo going to get knocked up here by Zeus, looking for the target, and doesn't finish him off. The flash from Peanut will be able to get on in there, and Zeus getting so many knockups in this fight. It is going to be the Troll finally going down and getting punished. Viper is at full health in this fight, but now his front line has ran out, and HLE are just trying to get themselves out of there, and Honku is going to say nope, as they all do take the Realm Warp, and so Zeus might be able to just buy some time here with some tunnels.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. We'll go down for sure here. We'll see who they give the kill to. Looks like it is going to be Rest. Well, maybe an opportunity here as the Dragon is started. Vi does have a good amount of damage here on this objective with her W, but I don't think they're going to get the time.
I'm not sure.
Eddie.
Perhaps this is an overestimation of the amount of damage that he can do, because This is nowhere near close as Rest is going to move himself in. Doggo is teleported over at the same time. Mega Inferno Bomb, massive damage onto Zeka as Honkyu could be in a little bit of trouble, but Kaiwing is keeping him safe. Peanut realizing that he's made a big mistake here as well as Delight gets the headbutt to save his jungler, but I mean, this is still just a leash, so they get soul point.
Yeah, I think almost should be happy that they don't just give 2 items on mid. No.
So just start a fight on Otacon.
Yes, here we go.
Well, it's going to be HLE starting this fight as the wall is going to be put down. Zeka is knocked off it a little bit early, though, as Mega Inferno Bomb just pushes Viper out of the fight entirely. They do trade it for Honkyu, as Viper with the redemption might be able to stick around for like a little bit longer, but the Otacon not going to be a target that they can collect.
CFO and rationale for HLE to collapse,
They
but
are doing the
CFO,
thing.
they have the TP.
Let's see whether this is going to work, as Zeus is doing his best Void Grub or Rift Herald impression by being a Void monster in the pit. As there's a flick back onto Doggo! Peanut looking for that angle there, but it is just going to be the satchel that tries to get Doggo out of dodge. Zeus now could be the one in trouble, though, with Solar Flare. The circles are layered, and it's not enough damage. He just tunnels his way out. Another shove to buy that space, but the Otacon down underneath half health. As HLE still wanting to go for this one. Redemption to get those health bars back again. As Peanut, can you get the steal? That's the question. He gets himself in, but it's not going to be stolen away. And down goes Peanut immediately. It's a brilliant knock-up there from Delight, but Honkyu is still alive somehow. And CFO are just trying to limp themselves away with the Otacon in tow.
Heist successful for CFO. They get the objective. Peanut can
And
get
the thing that's ridiculous is that I said before that it's not exactly the most popular soul. It's Renekton and Trundle. Like, they will not die.
They love that. That's great stuff for them. The amount of sustain they have in their kits. Between the passive, the subjugate. Renekton with his Q as Kaiwing is looking aggressively. Viper needs to do some damage. How alive? Get it low.
Well, there is the Solar Flare towards that backline as Junja in a bit of trouble, but it's so much AoE with this Mega Inferno Bomb. Still, Rest is going to go down. The double knockup is fantastic, and it's 2 on the floor here for CFO. Zeus is down, the Dragon getting amongst it as well as the ulti from Viper to soften up Honkyu with Zeka on the flank angle. The flash pulverize from Delight is gorgeous! And Viper is there with the follow-up DPS. Doggo now out of cooldowns, but is able to at least get rid of the cow. And HLE come alive finally in this game.
And at the final hurdle, CFO.
When they don't look good, it doesn't look great at all. As Zeus is continuing to have a rough time. That interruption was absurd as Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, but he takes another tunnel, tries to escape, and it does not work. And could this just be the setup? As Zeus, this is one of the downturns for what we've seen from him as well, as they have just started this one up. HLE looking for an outer turret as well as Zeka on a flank angle. He will see Rest as he walks out of that brush, decides he doesn't want a face check, and these health bars are actually getting softened up. 50% on that Baron right now, and HLE still wanting to look for the 4 versus 5. I don't know about it, as there is a teleport available from Zeus. They need to buy some time. Only 15 seconds left to go, and they back away from the objective.
I love how, the way I imagine Viper
But he's an 80 carry, so he doesn't buy that item very often.
Here we go. Death cap completed, level 16 as well.
All right, Junja in position now. We're getting the snap traps down, though. And HLE, they have pulled this one out. Zeka on that angle once again to try and get that wall in. Junja is trying to keep himself there. He's pushed all the way out. And so this Dragon should go over to HLE. They deny a soul yet again. But can they win themselves a fight as Kaiwing goes in and then uses Delight to taxi his way out? They're both in that backline as Honkyu is delivered to the open arms of Zeka. And Rest is now just trying to slice and dice his way out. They'll take a crab. They get 1 kill, but it's exactly the one they needed.
And it's again Zeus in the backline that is able to keep Doggo out of the fight, which means that even with that death cap being done, he doesn't actually get in a position to output a lot of DPS as the TP comes in. CFO know that they cannot give up this Baron.
Every teleport is going to be employed to try and stop this one from going down. 25 seconds on Doggo as well, who doesn't have teleport when he does respawn. Still there looking for the angle as Zeus goes in. It's a beautiful flick back, a double knockup again. The pulverize is there, and Viper is indeed unstoppable as everyone is CCing every member of CFO, and that just allows Viper to shoot them. The Baron gonna go down next. It felt like a hint of desperation because CFO, it was 4 versus 5.
Doggo, you need to steal this. Run!
Oh,
Run!
God. Can he get into Mega Inferno Bomb range?
He can. He's
Come on,
gonna try.
come on.
Oh, well, it's down to
It's
2,000 now.
gone.
He's not going to be able to get there.
Oh!
And it probably wasn't going to happen anyway. There's a large circle saying...
Especially with the Ziggs. So they might be able to stall it out. They need to be very careful, though. I think they really need to exercise restraint to get another shot, because Hanwha Life is not going to win the game off of this just this Baron push if they're not able to actually break open the base, and they are not even close to Soul just yet.
Yeah, well, you've got Zeus in that mid lane.
Just
CC
defend.
eaten by a tunnel.
Let them have the turrets. It's okay. Come on, CFO. I want my game free.
See whether we can get there. Another double shot comes on through, though, as Zeka. I think he just wants to go back to the Hotel Chronicle. I don't think he wants to give you that game number 3 as Junja down so incredibly low. Peanut to try and set up here as well. The solar flare is decent, but the shove, the knockups all over the place, just chained so beautifully by HLE. They'll use that to take down this inhibitor turret. And no Crocodile to stand in that front line and defend. The inhibitor might actually be defended, though, as we can see here. That's not going to go down just yet, but they have now broken open the base. A 6,000 gold lead here for HLE as well. As the siege continues, Delight gets the headbutt in triple pulverize one more time as it's Zeus that assassinates Doggo yet again as Viper gets round the side to land the pot shots. It's a double as it all settles, and my God, HLE, they really came alive, and they were asleep at the beginning of this game. But no, it looks like it's going to be a 2-0, and our second LCK team will make their way to knockouts with the fall of this Nexus. That Rek'Sai locked in instantly by Broken Blade, not going to be delaying any of the choices here as we've come to the very end of the draft. So, gentlemen, who's feeling the best out of this one? I'm looking at...
I accidentally said Busio is starting to move. That's how I'm so much used to seeing his
Busio's moving too!
Yeah, he is moving. Look at him go. As we get the flash away here, as Broken Blade getting himself out of there.
Inspired tries to start that one off, but it's been a very timid start for both junglers. As
Really
nice
nice
knockback.
flick. Yeah, Quad finding the angle, the double pulverize, but there's not very many people here to follow up outside of just Quad himself. So
getting to the grub fight, and you see Victor trying to clean up those minions by mid-tower, so that gives enough time there, enough priority for FlyQuest to grab at least the 2. They want the final grub for the might.
Yep, they should be able to get it here as well, as in they go. Magical Journey does get Lebrov out of there. But that was... I don't have that one.
That's a good request.
That is a
would be a fun
stat that
one.
I hope we don't beat in this game.
I'm thinking it makes it more interesting if there's no...
yeah.
I do the meters thing. I'm sure it's about the same size as a foot. Never mind.
You-
Quad, let's see whether the gravity field is going to work. The Arcane Storm doing a fair bit at the same time, but the Seismic Shove also lands. Death Ray comes in, the flash, and First Blood is a cap solo kill that's immediately answered here as Busio pushes him back underneath the turret. But man, we had no action, and then a solo kill.
Yeah, I think that because Busio has Hex Flash on Alistar, as well as Spellbook, he's still going to have some mobility. He might need it.
Yeah, he is ghosting, so that's going to move him pretty quickly, but does just get into position here. Twisted Advance does come on down, but it's Skumon that does get pulverized. Another brilliant flick from Quad to pull Skumon back, and in the meantime, Caps, oh, that flash is gone, and Inspired will take him out because of it. Now Quad looking for that angle once again, and they have corralled them underneath this turret, but it looks like FlyQuest, they're just happy to get that one pick, and then set
For
them...
a Victor wandering through the jungle, and...
He doesn't see them because they're stood still.
Oh, the flash pulverize going to come on through. Another headbutt back here as even the Valkyrie damage is helping out. Trample going to come on through, but he does have part of that network set. And the flash forward does need to come in, but it's not enough. The little bullet from the Corki couldn't do it. And out goes BB once again.
Rek'Sai so obnoxious to lock down as Lebrov throws the ultimate mids.
Yeah, Tempered Fate comes on down there as Hansama gets on in. Didn't quite have the snap trap, but he just flashes over the Seismic Shove and will be able to get the last hit onto Quad. So Hansama going to even things up once again, as in this top lane, Whippo taking some damage from Caps.
Okay, so the gloves are coming off now from both sides. They're getting a little bit more warmed up on stage. Items are coming through, and they're looking to punish where they can. Mid lane has clearly been the focus from both sides, but Hansama picking up that kill will build him up to a huge lead of 1K over Masu.
And last time, Vedius, I was like, oh yeah, you know, Quad, he just took his death and it was good, you know, because Cap splashed and Quad didn't. But that one, well, wait a second.
Yeah, got a bit of a flash forward here from Whippo, who's going all out onto Caps, has Inspired alongside him, and down goes the Victor once again.
A fantastic punish comes through from Bwipo. Again, Caps had no real way to get out of that situation given he had no flash available. The gravity field also just doing nothing to Bwipo. I don't think that she quite has the tools to get through what already feels like a very tanky Cassante, even though it's G2 that's first to this objective.
Trinity Forces are pretty good, aren't they? When they're built. As you can see, Hans
They're back for him, so good value there for him. 2 dragons stacked up by G2, but again, the top side objectives, the Grubs and the Rift Herald, are the ones that turn into...
Broken Blade. Getting that kill with the assistance of Inspired was a nice pick for sure, but on the side lane, I feel like that he just spent more time in lane, allowing him to build almost a full level advantage over his opposition as G2 set their sights on the tower.
Yeah, Nature's Grasp does come down as Caps is getting pushed out of the fight. Ace in the Hole comes on through here as well, but looks like G2 decide against going for anything more. Net over the wall will get Hans Sama to safety, and the Rift Herald going to then try and turn the tables as far as this push. And this could actually just be feats of strength right here as Shelly decides that she wants to give them over to FlyQuest, and that will come on through as soon as we deal with these minions. No real defense here by G2 going to get set up, and there she blows.
Tower achieved, as you say, the feats as well as the extra gold here. Soaked up by everybody, and
in this game, because there hasn't been much of a battlefield so far. There's 5 kills all up, but it's a lot of posturing as Labrov able to walk out of the way of the wall. Seismic Shove does go wide as Hans Sama not quite able to get the net for the slow, but otherwise is able to get out of dodge. Still, Summoner Spell's now on cooldown, and that flash being down for the Caitlyn is a big deal as Labrov in the back of this pit just get flicked back, and I thought he was just going to magical journey out, but he doesn't.
Yeah, where are you going, buddy? Busio sits him down, and Bwipo trying to sit Broken Blade down, but the flash is enough.
That's beautiful play-by-play there, Kobe. But still, G2 have so much control of this area. Nature's Grasp for holding on to control as well is so incredibly good. Hex Flash going to get channeled here as Busio looking for an angle towards Caps, perhaps, as he gets taken down so incredibly low. Unbreakable Will comes in, and now you've got Bwipo trying to make the difference with Tempered Fate to hold them in position. Hans Sama in so much trouble, and he does get taken down. Inspired to grab first blood in the fight. Busio is going to be the answering kill, and Broken Blade takes down Busio as well. It's FlyQuest that can actually answer back as Caps trying to do some of the damage, but doesn't quite manage to do so. And it's a big win here for FlyQuest.
Yeah, huge.
Talia thus far, and 2 items have now been completed as the Leandries is now done as well. They'll grab themselves another turret.
Has opened up a lot of like small opportunities for FlyQuest so far, and trigger on the Otacon.
Yeah, there is a ward still here though for G2, so they know the size of this health bar. As you can see, Bwipo just trying to stand in front of them.
He's
to
far.
Keep them out of this one, as my goodness, he's so incredibly tanky at the same time. Is G2 going to have to deal with him first? The wall goes down just to try and keep him alive. There's the Pulverize as well as Broken Blade gets himself out of there. Now the Nature's Grasp does fly past, but the Otacon will just turn its sights onto G2 this time, down to about 4K as FlyQuest possibly out of this. There's a flash forward from Busio, but I don't know about it. The flick back, though, is gorgeous, and Skewmon put in position, but unable to get the smite. That one's going to go to Inspired. As the gravity field goes down, the Arcane Storm doing nothing. Master going to take down Caps, who cannot get it done. Now Broken Blade buying some space. They only lose 1, but Otacon, such a big deal.
FlyQuest play with such patience. Quad with a fantastic ultimate to start that fight off because it isolates Broken Blade. It looked like Bwipo was the one that...
Bwipo's back to help him out.
I mean, just great patience being demonstrated by FlyQuest as now Broken Blade in a lot of danger.
Or is he? I mean, this is the Rek'Sai situation, right? It always looks like he's in danger, and then I do that play-by-play thing where it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna die, and then he never does. Well, let's see whether he does here. See, that thing. You know, let's see whether he... No, it just doesn't happen, as he has just eaten a whole lot of pressure in this game.
I gotta be honest, Vedius, it's looking a lot like MSI to me.
I mean, right now, yeah, we haven't really...
I'm looking at this game, I'm feeling like Inspired's been pretty loud. 3-0-2 currently on the Wukong, as Bwipo just constant item spikes Kobe. Is this going to be enough for FlyQuest to look for a teamfight angle, because it's also soul point for both teams? Bwipo goes forward, but isn't going to be able to find too much more. Inspired, look at that flank angle. As the knockup does come through there on Busio, the explosive damage is massive. The wall comes through just to make sure that Caps cannot get in. Hans Sama not able to find Busio, but now the Unbreakable Will is worn off. Is this just going to be soul point over to G2?
Yeah, I think they get it. You know, FlyQuest, basically Busio's out of the fight now. An Alistar low health with no ultimate doesn't get to do much at all. They just call it off. Yeah, FlyQuest, after they see that.
Looking for this Baron. G2 in position though, they still have a lot of buttons up and available. It's only the ace in the hole that they really used. And so Inspired going to back away. They're not going to go for any 50-50s. It's Broken Blade in an uncomfortable position, but the Seismic Shove isn't going to find the mark. As they all get themselves out. There's the Nature's Grasp as G2 are actually looking for it here, but it's a clone.
And Inspired is going to take that one away, start the objective up once again.
Yeah, Megacone is going to be denied here at the same time as Whippo just patrolling the edge of this Baron pit. They do pull off though, as you can see, Quad's in that mid lane. And the wall is going to come down. Caps is going to be separated from the rest of the team. Ace in the hole comes in. Inspired going to eat that one for Quad to keep him in the fight. Whippo now taking some real damage here.
Obviously, like, the fights are going to be a lot scarier for them. They need to leverage the advantage that they have right now.
Well, this could be certainly leveraged as Caps walks a little bit too far away from his turret and will just... Natofo strikes. Inspired though, already right on top of this Baron. Skumond in the area, but it's going to be so difficult to stop this Baron from going down. The flash in, the headbutt back! As Skumond's flash is now on cooldown. Redemption for a bit of extra damage at the same time as FlyQuest, they kept the Baron leashed. All of this vision getting taken away over and over again. And this Baron down to 4,000. Do they opt in for it? Because Skumond can't get over the wall. It's going to be impossible for them to stop this, and the Baron will be taken by FlyQuest.
They want to get as much out of this Baron as possible.
We also need to delay Elder Drake for as much as possible as well, because we want this game to go for about 70 minutes if possible.
For G2's credit, it is hard to push on these Caitlyn trap lines, but never mind.
Flash is going forward here as the wall comes down, and Hans Sama just blows up. The inner turret is going to go down, and Skumond is running the wrong direction. Bit of a jungle v jungle here as he gets the Teemo thumbs up. I don't think Skumond's going to feel okay about it. Nimbus Strike comes forward. Inspired finishes him off, and I think this is the end of the game as FlyQuest will slowly but surely, methodically tear G2 apart here in game one. Busio going forward one more time. The Tempered Fate comes down for a bit of fun as the Nexus turrets, one already down, the second one to follow. Masu right in their face. The Arcane Storm not doing too much of anything. And the Nexus will now go down. Trading places here is Masu and Broken Blade, but down goes the Nexus.
Soraka, as long as Busio can have some good space, I kind of like it for the team.
Well, the Xayah is the most obvious thing ever, so that is just going to be locked in here to route. Oh, Skumond knows exactly what's going on. The Battle of the Crab is going to come on through. And he gets that ward in, so Inspired starting this fight off already. Quad's roaming over at the same time as Skumond is so incredibly low. Busio gets on in here, heals them up, and they're not going to be able to quite find naming people all over the place on this broadcast. That's what we're doing. And it's really adding to it. It's a yes from me. It's flash out from Whippo as the pillar.
Elsewhere on the map as he looks to steal away this blue buff, but already off to a strong start from FlyQuest as they have control
G2's
over...
way and a trade of objectives here to start this one off.
Genuinely impressed that G2 got away with that because FlyQuest
We're traumatized for a long time. We had a lot of failures with this champion, but we have had a lot of successes.
Yon was another one I remember.
Well. Yeah.
Ooh, Tibbers playing some defense here for Quad. Meanwhile, towards the top side of the map, some aggression as Master going down very low. Battle Busio here on the Soraka is just...
Skumond doesn't want to waste any time. He's not even pulling the objective out. He's just going to melt through it. Inspired saying, no, not worth it. I'm just going to go clear my topside camp. So Drakes are going to be equalized. G2 with a slight advantage in that department. But again, the gold really going the way of FlyQuest pretty much everywhere. Skumond has snuck in here.
Yeah, you don't get to opt into all the fights, though. Sometimes the fights come to you.
Oh, it is happening as Labrov makes his way over. They're looking for the dive. Knockup does come on through as Busio gets the wish out, but there is first blood going over to the Trundle here at 13 minutes. The culling to soften them up, but Masu might even be in trouble himself as G2 do decide to back away. And we do now have 12 seconds on the Rift Herald, so we'll see who's going to be able to get set up for that one. Busio here in mid lane for now. Looks like Fly do want to fight for it, but Whippo's also in trouble. Equalizer goes down, flashes away, and just gets chomped down by Skumond. That's 2-0 for the Troll. And now without Equalizer and the Rumble, it's going to be hard for Fly to fight for this one.
Skumond with some active plays. This is a much better look for G2 and for Skumond. Skumond makes the gank on bottom side Vedius, then he makes the gank on top side, and a repeat gank as well.
Yeah, makes another gank towards this top side. Good flash out there as the wish comes through as well, but it's not going to work. It's 3-0 in the kills as G2 lock down those feats of warfare, and FlyQuest, they need to do something about this troll.
Yeah, the troll is controlling the game. Where the troll goes, G2 wins. And now there is a teleport back out for Bwipo. He has been able to wait out his death timer. And so that's going to put a little bit of a pause on things. Quad being down though, and Quad does not have teleport when he gets back up. Still a few seconds left on that one.
Well, Bwipo realizing the return of Skewmond is coming on through, but the rest of his team moving on up at the same time. Audacious charge there from Inspired to try and close the gap momentarily. G2 in position to try and fight for this, but Khan Summer is a little further away from everyone else. We have a reset now coming on through, but FlyQuest
Initially had position on, they're forced to concede it. Now, does it mean a huge amount? Not necessarily, because Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, and I imagine that's G2's bigger prize. But yeah, now they don't have that TP available for Caps, and he's still on the top side of the map.
Well, Rift Herald is just immediately going to be put down here in this mid lane. That could be first turret. Going on over
Pillar,
to FlyQuest.
pillar.
Yeah, let's see whether it is going to come through, and there it is. Skewmond able to lock that one down as we have the ulti from Caps towards the top side. Bwipo in trouble, but he's just kept alive by the ambulance. And now Quad, an awkward position for him as well, as Caps finds some damage there. Into the backline goes Broken Blade. They're kind of taking it in turns to annoy FlyQuest, and it's working very nicely as G2 keeping these health bars pretty up there. And FlyQuest starting to look a little worse for wear. Caps taking some damage. The Witch comes down yet again. The Equalizer not quite doing that much as Inspired goes in. Looking for LeBron, but he gets himself out. The Crescent Guard comes through as well as Broken Blade comes down from the heavens. Inspired's just looking unkillable on this Sin Zhao, but G2 just won't go down.
Yeah, G2, Caps alive, keeps Lebrov alive.
Lebrov, his heel on the Q, and now Masu's in danger.
Yeah. There is the Galio in there as well, as Masu does get that flash off. Winds of War not quite doing too much damage here, so he's going to be out because you're really good into burst that doesn't kill you. But as soon as the burst kills you, Soraka is useless.
Suddenly, she loses value, yes.
So as Caps gets more and more items, is able to do that big damage. Doesn't necessarily have a huge burst build right now. That could be happening as we get later and later into this game. And especially if it's Busio that immediately dies, the Soraka is going to have no value at all.
Yeah, my main thing is that FlyQuest, well, hold on a second.
Yeah, Skewmond once again making his presence known as in goes Inspired. He is difficult to kill as we do have a lot of damage coming down. Caps finding the angle for the ulti, but look at this! This Soraka is ludicrous! Making sure that he throws band-aids to everyone, and they are all just gonna be okay. FlyQuest now moving on towards this Otacon as Lebrov eating some honey fruit, but it looks like they'll be able to use these lower health bars to push them away, and now Bwipo is just burning him down. Might be a little bit of a bridge too far, but it doesn't actually happen. Equalizer is confusing, and I'll leave it at that. But the Otacon down to 50%. Broken Blade teleports in, but isn't going to be able to do too much more because the map is dark and full of terrors and bananas.
Yeah, the Bwipo Rumble is not looking the best, but his teleport down to the bottom side does mean that they're full committing to Otacon, and they do get the Otacon. G2 make them pay for it, though.
Oopsies. I mean, left and right, but it does feel like FlyQuest got the better of that last moment and do get the Otacon for it as we have another engage to come through. G2 may have found Inspired yet again, but this is how the last fight started. Quad comes on over and just drops a bear on them. The Galio will be the answer. The knock-up, he's still alive, but Skewmond will finally get the chomp. And down goes the Xin Zhao eventually. Man, that took everything.
Play took off. There were FlyQuest question mark pings there. They did kind of expect.
Oh, Skewmond is just going to get flashed on here, tries to flash the wall, misses. And now you've got the Featherstorm needing to be employed. Another cheeky equalizer to come down.
Throughout the game, but he now has a full level over Quad. And, I mean, at the very least, Bwipo being able to secure this, then it could be very good for them.
No flash on Bwipo.
This might be that initial pick that you were talking about. Outer turret is going to be taken here. Bottom lane to follow suit immediately. The rest of FlyQuest moving to move in, but it's getting a little bit scary as they're moving into the fog of war. Equalizer goes down once again.
That's very
trying to get the poke in there. As soon as FlyQuest do take damage, though,
the damage was very little as well.
This is Soul Point, remember, guys. This is not something that FlyQuest really feel comfortable giving up, but they're not going to be able to move in here into the fog of war to try and deny it. So they're going to have to try and get this middle outer turret instead. Baron just spawning now. FlyQuest moving towards this top side with that mid outer turret falling.
Okay, so only the
Did
top
result in this Trundle being really hard to take down now. And Trundle kind of thrives in these scrappy fights.
Well, he's going to have to try and book it over here. It is Broken Blade with a lot of CC, keeping Bwipo busy. Equalizer goes down. The Wish comes in, but he just dies before BlackWest could get in there. Still, they're going to look for the fight, though. Crescent Guard comes down. Lebrov just explodes in an instant as the taunt is fantastic. The flash out from Inspire, but he still dies. Not enough in the tank here for Busio. And G2 finding the advantage here. Redemption comes
They
down.
might try and contest this still. Masu in the area. Let's see what Pokey can get down.
It is a pretty early Baron, but it's going down very, very quickly. A teleport is available here as soon as this Rumble does spawn, and he's teleporting in now, but the Baron is going to go down. Quad immediately explodes as Bwipo cannot get anything done. Flash over the wall there from Busio as Bwipo decides he wants to go aggressive. I'm not sure about that one, but Masu tries to get the kill on Skumon, and it doesn't quite work. All of these Barons still up and available, and the Justice Punch to bring Broken Blade forward. He will find his mark as Busio's still alive and getting this healing down, but the problem is they're not doing enough damage to G2, and they're just going to back up. The culling is working as intended, but unfortunately, it's just a little too late.
The Soraka healing is just way too monstrous.
Control the entire map right now. This fight just blew it wide open. They've got Baron buff, they got a bunch of extra kills off it too.
Okay, well, we're looking for a bit more of a fight here as the heroic entrance comes down. Quad takes a large chunk. FlyQuest still in it, though, as we can see. Masu is going so aggressive. I don't know whether it's a good idea, as there is the ulti out from Caps to get so much AoE damage, but Masu still alive. The ambulance is working, but Skumon finally gets the jump down. And there goes the AD carry. G2 are a freight train. They'll break the inner turret, and they'll probably get more because they've got Baron, and they're looking at a game number 3.
G2 will finally get a bit of revenge against FlyQuest as they finally get a big... Wow, I suppose they'll get a big inhibitor.
They do get a big inhibitor.
Game 2, Steve.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's his name going to be in Game 3?
It's Game 3 Gary, and I hope you guys are ready.
If I knew it was Game 3 Gary before, I'd be so G2 biased in this game. Oh my god, I'm really glad you saved that until now, as the priceless moment of the game does come on through. Infernal Soul for G2. The Rebel Baron power play putting them at about 8.7k in the lead. And FlyQuest trying to get back out onto the map. You can see Inspired just wanting to keep this fight going, but Between Worlds comes out from Caps, and he's now on a rampage against Quad. And Masu feels like he just came out of the death chamber, but immediately they're looking to try and put him back in there as this siege. Baron or no Baron, G2 will be able to take down another inhibitor turret. And with Infernal Soul, I think they'll have the damage to burst down FlyQuest now. The culling comes through, but Skumon says what? As he just takes most of it. Equalizer in as well as they look for Bwipo, but he does go gold, and the quickness comes on through. The charm is fantastic. They try and keep him alive, but it does not work. It's a bit of a trade, though, as this Rakan is going to be taken down, but man, these wallets, they are so heavy from G2. First Nexus turret to be taken down. Masu going to be next to be taken on this fountain, and G2 showing them that even though they did get switching to Jack's jungle, which is likely not going to be happening, Lebrov to lock that one in. And so BB with a Jax towards the Renekton. The matchup obviously
should be pretty easy for them to break this freeze. In fact, Inspired might look for a wraparound because there's no vision on the bot side, so Broken Blade in a lot of danger.
Yeah, looking a little bit dicey here as the Counter-Strike comes in. The Flash W is going to connect as the Grandmaster's might is not mighty enough, and First Blood goes over to Whip.
And the advantage that Bwipo gains after Broken Blade loses all that farm as well, just beautifully done from FlyQuest.
Punish a bit. Your jungler shows getting Dragon. I will take your Cromp at least.
Oh, there's the sweep from Quad. Flash comes out from Caps as the Flash in trade there as Quad avoids the Shockwave. Nicely done, but there's a lot of summoner spells now missing in the mid lane, and both junglers can smell it. Skumon moving on over. Quad does have that wave pushing into him. There's now another fight in this bottom lane, top lane matchup that we've got here.
Have Bwipo actually go towards mid. He reset after clearing the wave and is heading mid to rotate the Azir already into the side lane, even before getting first item Nashers.
Orianna gets first rotate, but the Varus is nowhere near. I mean, Skumon's happy with one. He doesn't have to overcommit to anything else. They've denied the 3 grubs, and so small advantage that G2 will be happy with.
And that is going to be on this champion. Like, this is one of the Quad champions. And we'll see whether they can get some value out of it. Dominus here in this mid lane as Caps is in trouble. Remember, no flash for the Orianna, but the Shockwave is back off cooldown He creates enough distance.
Rob setting up for the dragon fight, just lighting up this jungle and the approach angles for FlyQuest.
Hansama gets flashed on here, does have to use his flash, but now he's a Varus with no flash.
Yeah.
That's a tug.
Lucio.
But they know the timer, and it looks like G2 are just going to be able to burn this one down, so evening up the dragons.
And so you're facing this Nashor's Azir in the side lane, and that's just, it's so problematic. Broken Blade, meanwhile, as you can see on screen, they're going for the 2v1.
Yeah, Whippo, this is going to be a difficult one to deal with, especially with the Brav turning up. That flash not going to help, and Whippo is not going to quite get to
That wave is now quite awkward once again, but Scumon's here to fix it.
Oh dear, throwing the first briefcase. As we've got a bit of a problem for Caps as the depth charge comes through, flash comes down, but the answering anchor is fantastic. Busio will be traded though, gorgeously played by Caps to make sure it's a 1-for-1.
And that is
It
worth...
does have Ghostblade and Swifties. It's going to be very hard to stick on top of him. Scumon's health bar is starting to look very, very large, as we can see. Inspired in the area though, Glacial Prison in hand. So we have a look at the comparison here between our top laners. Speaking of top laners, it's going to be Quad playing defensively here, getting rid of Broken Blade yet again, means Emperor's Divide is going to be off cooldown for any potential fights, as he just leaps back in once more. This is a little dicey. There's the counter-strike to come on through. Decent stun coming on in there as Broken Blade does at least get the flash out from Quad, and he makes it to the safety of his turret.
I do feel like Trinity Force on Jax is kind of the point at which Jax really starts to feel confident on a side lane, and that's what we're starting to see. Quad now has to be a lot more respectful as the Rift Herald is started off by G2.
Exactly. It took him a while to get there, but he did, in fact, get there.
Yep, teleport is available here from Broken Blade, so it can be a 5v5. As there's the anchor connecting. Glacial Prison goes down as well. Decent chain CC as the Shockwave is decent as well. It's massive damage, but it's G2 coming out on top as both the Nautilus and the Renekton on the floor, and they'll claim the objective.
G2 get a massive fight around the Herald and secure the objective, taking out the front line, securing
Shield
the...
off, and Hansama just melts through that double front line there.
Oh dear, Caps might be in a little bit of trouble as the curtains have been called. The last shot comes through and Masu will be able to nail it, evening out the kills. Still, that last play putting G2 back into touching distance once more.
I mean, FlyQuest don't waste any time. They get back out on the map, they find a big pick, and now Scumon sets his sights on bot.
Yeah, Quad actually greeting a little bit to make sure that he gets this turret, and Emperor's Divide comes down, but there is a spell shield, and Scumon says what? And once again, it is going to be Quad going down. Beautifully played. They did manage to get the turret, of course. He kind of knew that he was going to be in a little bit of trouble.
The tower going to be secured by Whippo, and so FlyQuest will hold on to the gold lead. When we look at the bottom of our screen, all of the gold lead really is sitting on Whippo. And so far, in that last fight, he got shut down so quickly. Hansama's continuing to ramp up in terms of itemization. Another tower secure.
Okay, will go down as the minions do deal with it. Hansama holding Inspired in place as he procs that Blighted Quiver. Starting to do a fair bit of work here as 1.5 items are completed for the Varus as the Dragon was started, but not actually committed to just yet. Exactly, Shockwave pulls Whippo back. Does have the dominance to get that extra health, but Caps, he will be able to push away this Renekton, and now without all of that power and money in this fight, it could be difficult here for FlyQuest as G2 still going to be pressured away, and it will be the Dragon going down. Whippo going to be stopped as well. That back not going to come through. We'll see whether they can get a dent onto this turret, and with the Rift Herald, they will be able to.
Yeah, G2, they have to respect FlyQuest.
Oh no, another one, and this time the Magnustorm comes in. Whippo has to flash, gets himself out of there. Shelly gets a headache, and will be able to take this one down. Scumon stands in front of the hook, and Busio has to cleanse, gets himself out of the way. Oh, the Emperor's Divide moves Scumon away from him, still able to get the kill, but now the curtains have been called. First bullet, second bullet, third going to miss, the fourth one lands, but it's eaten by Labrov, and he's going to be just fine. G2 limp away.
A crazy back and forth as Masu...
But G2 with control of the area.
Not enough time because we're starting off the Arakan. G2 is just forcing this one.
Yeah, FlyQuest do have vision. They know what's going on, but it is burning down so incredibly quickly. Mundu is very, very good at doing a lot of extra damage to these as Busio not going to quite hit the anchor. As can they get to steal? The answer's no. Whippo taking a fair bit of damage as Broken Blade is now so dangerous, but Whippo still able to get that work done with this dominance, but it's in fact the redemption that helps out. And down goes Quad as well, and it looks like FlyQuest not quite making this one happen as G2 just move forward. Mundu is indeed doing exactly what he pleases, as that cleanse, that ain't gonna help you, buddy, as Skumond does have a lot of paperwork to do, and he's in the way.
G2 play flawlessly. Broken Blade finally gets revenge on the side lane. The mid tower is going to fall, and this game is getting out of control as G2 grow the gold lead.
G2 just take over at the Otacon, grabbing it and all of this gold. What a massive, massive swing.
This is pretty amazing. We have to remember as well, this game.
Decisively, before Inspired had a chance to join, he was walking all the way from base, but let's get back to live.
Yeah, we got another battle here as Broken Blade will find another counter-strike. It only hits onto one, but it's so difficult to kill this. Jax, he just dives on top of Masu. I think he's gone too far though. Does get the redemption, and what the heck is this? Jax still gets shut down. And that was looking frightening, and he was very alone.
Broken Blade showcase.
But this time around, G2, they pulled the trigger so quickly that the front lines wasn't set for FlyQuest. Now going for a little exchange as well.
Yeah, looking for a little bit of an angle, but no full commitment onto any of these fights. Skumond just standing in that front line. There's the flash forward, and where did he go? Master just explodes thanks to the shockwave, and now an exhausted Quad is just gonna fly his way out. But now without their Jhin, this should mean that G2 can get themselves this dragon that has just cropped up to even the scoreline there, even able to deny some backs.
The combo is clean, and G2 are playing with confidence. It feels like this game
Arrow
is slipping.
from Hans right at the beginning too. Everything hitting at once. Masu down, and G2 are primed to make it into quarterfinals, and they're doing it with Skumond on his Mundo. Well, the rest of the team here going at Busio again.
Yeah, looking for a bit of an angle there, but Leap Strike does get Broken Blade over the wall. They will be okay, as Nevermind, Inspired, looking for an angle. Deadly Flourish comes down, another curtain call to come in here as Skumond flashes himself away. Busio's dead once again, though. The last bullet not quite enough, but Quad does have the follow-up damage. It's a trade of supports. For now, the flash forward from Inspired. He thinks he's found the angles. Bwippo just flashes on top. Hans is going to fall down for the first time in this game, and now this Crocodile is doing what he wants instead of the Mondo as they escort G2 out of the river.
FlyQuest are fighting back.
Skumond is going to come over here as, yeah, if Quad's doing
Perhaps
damage to this,
TP.
it's going down very, very quickly. And so is Skumond, as we can see here. He's just a health bar, and this is Nash's and that Leandri's completed. Busio makes his way back. Broken Blade wants to get in here, but this Baron is going down so incredibly quickly. They have vision, but they have no one in the area, and it's FlyQuest that
It could still very much go either way. The Baron has bought a lot of time for FlyQuest. The hook.
Yeah, hook to come on through there as Busio starts off the fight. Glacial Prison is good as well to hold down this front line. The last bullet this time is not going to land as we have fights on multiple fronts. The counter-strike to interrupt the teleporters. Lebrov will be able to get himself to relative safety. Now it's G2 trying to turn this one around because Bwippo is so much of what allows FlyQuest to win these fights, and he was denied.
FlyQuest try and engage on Skumond and Lebrov.
Cloud Soul could be a big deal for either of these teams, and man, this goes down fast. 3 items now, and so G2 will be able to welcome her in, and they might be able to start this one up. We'll just have to see. As Bwippo in position on this blast cone, they do get an engage onto Inspired, and Broken Blade with that flank angle is spotted. Thankfully there for FlyQuest fans.
Bwippo, though, he's sitting on a control ward. They haven't seen him come through. They're trying to ward for the flank, but they don't know where he is. Hans has to be extremely careful because Bwippo could be the game changer as Broken Blade looking for both top laners with their flanks. Could be the thing that defines the game.
Yeah, which flank is going to work out? Will it be Bwippo finding the priority target? But he's found instead as Lebrov gets into that brush, clears out the control ward. And G2 now with the upper hand as Broken Blade wanting to sneak in once again. Bwippo slices to get out of there, and Quad has to get out as well. Busio starting off the fight, gets the double knockup, but Skumond is so tanky. Not tanky enough, this Azir is just going front to back. As now Broken Blade with the counter-strike is going to be able to help take down Bwippo. The hook is going to not land, but the Magnet Storm is gorgeous. Not enough to do all the damage, and Busio somehow got in there, but look at the Emperor's Divide. Down goes Broken Blade, the curtain call as well to slow down Lebrov. G2 still with some players alive, but these health bars are so low, and FlyQuest come out on top.
And Skumond goes down without activating his...
And FlyQuest get another go with the Rebel Baron power play.
That is absolutely insane. It's re-engaged from the Brov, but it's not enough damage. The carries are safe. And FlyQuest turns it into a one fight.
Oh, the timing on that Emperor's Divide was just gorgeous from Quad. As we're right into another team fight as now Bwipo having to use that Q to try and get his health bar back, but Hans Summer's just going to shut him down. The Deadly Flourish as well is trying to work out, but Broken Blade stays alive. The Emperor's Divide is gigantic, and BB will go down. The Azir is taken as well, and G2 straight out of the replay, straight putting FlyQuest into the death chamber.
Caps goes on a rampage. He finds such a huge shockwave with the help of Lebrov. G2 may well have done it. There's only Inspired left to try and defend the base, but after 3 long years, I think Europe is back at the quarterfinals.
It was looking like it was going to happen again. It was going to look like North America could deny them one more time, but it's the top 8 in the eyes of G2 as they look to take down these Nexus turrets. The Nexus